Welcome to HealthType. This is a new way to achieve your happiness and health goals. This is part one of a three-part series where you'll learn a little bit about 8 thought processes that are part of the Myers-Briggs personality type and how you can use your most preferred thought processes to more easily achieve your goals. So when you look at this series of images here, what question comes to mind? What would you really want to know right offhand before anything else? That question probably fits into one of 8 types of questions. So it may be something similar to these questions, such as, what exactly is happening here? What does this remind me of? How does this fit with something else in a pattern or a meaning? What insights do I get? What steps are needed to achieve a goal here? What principles are represented? How could people be affected by what's happening? Or what are important things to consider here in terms of values? And next to each of these 8 groupings of questions, there is a code letter. And that's the code for the 8 cognitive processes identified by the famous psychologist Dr. Carl Jung. And here are the 8 cognitive processes, the way he defined them, which is that they are in 4 groupings called functions. There's sensation, which means there's a focus on tangible data. Or number 2, there's intuition, a focus on concepts and patterns. Or number 3, thinking, a focus on objective data and logic. Or the 4th grouping is feeling, which is focusing on subjective information and values. And then each of these 4 groupings has 2 attitudes. One focused on the external world, called extroversion, and another focused on the internal world, called introversion. So here is another way to look at those 8 thought processes. So 4 of them are related to how we access data, in other words, gather information from the world around us, and what we really focus our attention on. And these are called perceiving cognitive processes. And they are extroverted sensing, introverted sensing, extroverted intuition, and introverted intuition. And then 4 of them are how we organize our thoughts and make decisions. And these are called judging cognitive processes. And they are extroverted thinking, introverted thinking, extroverted feeling, and introverted feeling. And all of us use all 8 of these. But again, one of them is most preferred for our personality type, and that's called the dominant cognitive process. And then one is secondary, but also very important, called the auxiliary thought process. And so in part 2, we're going to learn how to use our dominant process as well as our auxiliary processes to advance our happiness and health goals. So please stay tuned for part 2 and learn more on HealthType.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you for participating in HealthType.